Okay, in some of the pieces in the Mix and Match Monsters pattern, there's a mysterious dashed line. And if you've ever wondered what that line is for, I will explain it and show it to you right now. So, using this piece, I'm gonna flip it over so you can see I've already got it fused and I've got the clean cut done. This is a line that you can, if you want to, cut the piece on. So I'm just going to cut it right on that line, and then I'll show you what you can do with it if you cut the piece apart. So you can leave it whole, and I've got a block here that shows you what it looks like, where I've just used it as one piece without making the cut. But here I want to show you what we can do if you do decide to cut it. It's designed so that you can tuck one of these pieces behind the other piece and get a bit of an underbite. Or on a different kind of a monster, there's a couple of different ones that have this line. You can make it be an overbite instead, but on this one it works best for it to be an underbite. And I have found you can cut it before you do the fusing, and then you can have the top and the bottom piece be different colors, and then you get a very, very clear definition between the head and the jaw, the lower part of the mouth. But one thing that I have found that makes it clear if you've used the same fabric for both of them is if you tuck a little tooth in there. So I'm going to show you how I'm assembling just the rest of this guy. So you peel off the paper backing just like any others. Stick that piece in there. And then again, this piece, you can tuck it over or under depending on the pattern and just which works better. And I'm going to tuck it well under there because I want this pretty clear definition. I want to see these points here that make it clear that it is an underbite. And now I am going to put this little tooth in the gap to add some clear definition, make it very, very clear that that is an underbite in his jaw, and it'll be clarified even more when I do some stitching on there. And then just to play around a little bit, I wanted to show you a couple of other options. So on this guy, one of the things that's fun about the Mix and Match Monsters pattern is that you take the same pattern pieces, but you can arrange them in different ways. So on this guy, I didn't do the cut on the head, so he's just one body. And I used this shape, this kind of drumstick shape, as an arm, but on this guy, I'm going to use it on the top of his head. Now, those could be antennae, which would be really fun to do, and I have done that on many of them, and in which case I could put his eyes down here. But on this guy, I'm going to make them eye stalks instead of antenna, and I'm going to put some pupils in there, and I've got just a couple more of these black circles that I used for the pupils, and I'm also going to use them here as little nostrils for him. So pretty much the same pieces. On this one I have made an entire body and some eye stalks on him, and on this one I have made the face is pretty much the entire body, and then his arms are coming out of the sides. So just a couple of different ways that you can play with it. Again, only some of the pattern pieces have this line on them. You can change the lines, you can add your own lines to other pieces. I will tell you that on a straight-sided monster, it's not very effective because overlapping it doesn't give you any pieces that stick out. And if you want to add the line anywhere you want, you could add it over this way, you could curve it this way, you could make it go much lower down on the body. Play around with it, and if you want to play with it before you do it in fabric, if you're worried about wasting your fabric, just print out a couple of extra pieces on paper and experiment with making some cuts in different places and seeing how you can, which way you want to overlap it, bottom over top, top over bottom, play around with it and have fun with it, you can add that kind of line to just about any of the pattern pieces in the Mix and Match Monsters pattern. So I'm going to come back in just a second and show you what this looks like after I've done all of the outline stitching. All right, here he is, all finished. You can see the outlining does help to define that, that jawline even more. I'm going to pop into the end of this video a whole little slideshow showing a bunch of other examples of the other blocks in the pattern that already have the line drawn, and I'm going to group them together so that you'll see the same body shape done in multiple different ways. So have fun with that. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and I'll see you next time.